Welcome back. It's time for another, expeditious episode of Journey Through Eorzea. I am, as always, man with hat, looking classy on my sweet bomb cart, whatever this is. Fun fact, did you know that these fields, these purple fields that we always walk into for quests, did you know that they actually have sound? Listen to this. I don't know if you can hear this. You can kind of hear it's like making like a whirring noise. And then if you get really into it, hang on. Hear that little whoosh? I noticed that when I was like looking at it. I was like kind of dipped in there and it made a little whoosh noise. I was like, wow, interesting. Anyway, despite looking like I just left and just came back, I actually logged in today and then I tried to go do the Valation's quest, and I did not notice that yesterday was the last day, otherwise I would have made time to do it. Too bad, so sad. So there will be no Valentines for this adventure this year. That said, that's okay, because we are in the middle of trying to solve this whole thing. We're supposed to rendezvous with some knights. I'm hoping it's not these guys, because if it is, they're already dead. So let's go ahead and find out. Let's get Mjolnir in here. Mjolnir hasn't been in on the fun for a while. He's my adventuring buddy, bosom buddy, whatever, so... Oh, hey, anything here? Oh my gosh, some bad guys. We were sure if I had to murder all of them with little effort. Oh my gosh, more of them. Hiya. You'll not get me. Fallen Heretics effects. Man, what's down here? Is there anything down here? It's just like a hole. It's like part of a hole. And a fate, apparently. Alright. Yeah, some dead guys, though. So it's a real shame. Anyway, so I logged in today, and I, tried to get ready, and I was like, you know what, I better do a test. I try to remember to always test all my equipment beforehand, because as anybody that's ever done anything with equipment at any point for any time, oops, wrong way, at any time knows, things will just randomly fail for no reason. In this particular instance, I had my headset on, and it's got like a little flip-down microphone thing. It's been working I think anybody that's been listening so far would agree that the audio quality as far as like microphones and stuff is leagues better than it was when I started. That first few episodes or whatever. But I went to use it today and the microphone was just like, no, I don't work now. It's like, you were working fine. But the thing is, it's got the same effect where, the microphone will like record and then you can hear it. I thought that was an important feature, so I got that on. That was all working, but for some reason the computer was just saying, nope, there's no sound. So I had to go and like troubleshoot that for a few minutes and get that figured out. So that's my whimsical behind the scenes thing for this episode. We've got about, I was looking into it, we've got about 30 quests left between here and Heavensward, give or take. I think it's like 30 for the entirety of part 6 or something like that, but I can't remember exactly. But yeah, so we'll be figuring that one out as we go. But I'm kind of excited to get to Heavensward, because I'm not saying I don't know more. I've had fun with it, but I'm kind of ready to move on to that next segment. Get to some new areas. I mean, how many times have I run into this building at this point, right? And as I've said, Ishgard is like probably my favorite jam of all the jams. We're gonna be heathens. We're gonna drive this bird inside, because it is loosely faster than walking, and they can't stop me. They're not my dad, not my real dad. That's what Lord Drellmol has to say. My knights sent no word of your coming, Tiberius. What has happened? What is that? What is that in your hand? They dead, bro. Sorry. By the Fury, those were veterans with years of service. And now they lie dead in the snow. Their bodies must be recovered, and... No. We've not the men to spare, not now. Not while Iceheart prepares to summon an abomination. The heretics you dispatched were not sufficient number to contend with the combined strength of the Temple Knights and the Crystal Braves. There must be others, and I'll wager they are on their way to Snowcloak as we speak. To make matters worse, it seems the traitor you followed managed to pass the heretics something of value after all. The parchment you recovered and the timetable of the guardsmen's watches at our outpost in Snowcloak. The traitor was stationed there long before he aroused our suspicions. What that we had caught him sooner. With this information, the heretics would know when the watch was weakest. They could use their tunnels with impunity and prepare their ambush. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics have already been in... Sorry, my cat's like doing stuff right next to me. It's like super distracting. She's got the sniffles. She's going to the vet tomorrow, so you gotta calm down. All right? You're distracting me, and you're ruining it for all the viewers at home. Okay? You gotta calm down. Okay. The timetable has not changed, you see. Of course, it will be changed now, but the heretics may already be in position. House Duendare must send reinforcements, even if it means withdrawing knights from the Stone Vigil. I can see no other way to safeguard the lives of our allies. That's fair. Alright. So, wardrobe. I'm guessing we're getting ready to go into either Snowcloak or to fight... or to do Shiva. I'm not sure which one. Time is of the essence, Tiberius. While my knights make ready to depart, the heretics may take our allies in Snowcloak unawares. Superior training and equipment will not avail them if they are cut down ere their swords are drawn. But all is not yet lost. If you leave now, they may still be trying to warn them. Make haste, I beseech you. Fly to Snowcloak and tell Sir Emmerich everything we have discovered. Alright, like, look, I know he said to fly, but I don't think he meant it literally, even if I am capable of doing that. I understand he wants us to expedite our travel, but, you know, we have to stick to canon. We definitely never fly around here. No one's ever seen me do it. And if anyone says they've seen me do it, they're a liar. That's what I have to say. All right. So, in the meantime, let's find Emmerich, our boy, and go talk to him and get this whole thing figured out, shall we? I was about to be like, wait, which way do I go? I know it says to go that way, but it's a fork in the road. I'll get lost. I'm scared. No, Snowcloak's a cool dungeon. I'm assuming we're going into Snowcloak. If we're not, I don't know what we're even doing around here anymore. Oh, there's an entrance right there, so that's pretty good. Tiberius, this is a welcome surprise. Perhaps the only one thus far. As you can see, we have yet to uncover any hidden... Just stopping. You have my gratitude. Truth be told, we suspected the heretics might be plotting such an attack. Now that we have confirmation, I shall place my knights on high alert. Has Commander Levelure been informed? The Braves must be made aware. Let's take a look at his knights here. We got this dude, and we got that. We got like you know, swoop hair lady, and we got this guy. He's I don't know about that hair, but you know he's fine. And then these dudes over here, I don't know what they think they're doing. This guy looks familiar. I don't know. He's got a scar in his eye. Doesn't know if that makes him trustworthy or not. We'll find out. Oh, and then we got our Crystal Brave friends like Yu Hase. What do you got to say, Yu Hase? God's bless whoever designed this uniform. It would have been frozen to death by now if it weren't for this great coat. Well, there you go. That's the pinnacle of everything. He knows what's up, what's really important. It must be here, I am certain of it. Why else would they go to such lengths to defend Snowcloak? 'Tis but a pity this discovery comes when our enemy has such a disadvantage. When our enemy has us at such a disadvantage. Forewarned though we may be, the heretics know the terrain far better than we. I dare not think of how many are watching us at this very moment. Dude, he always gets me with the confounded. Confounded, this is all wrong. Iceheart has us scrambling to save our own skins while we should rightly be straining every sinew to find her. Stop this damnable summoning. There she is! Come here, girl. Oh, it's Ida! Like a monk ninja. That was close. They didn't hurt you, did they? Only my pride, Ida. There will be others nearby. We must see that they are given similarly warm welcome. Commander Levelure. There's been a development, sir. Together with the temple knights, we have secured entrances to some half-frozen tunnels, after spotting the enemy breaking the surface. But that's not all, sir. We think that one of them may be important. Certainly, the heretics near flung themselves upon our swords to defend it. Alright. Aha, just as I expected. Amongst this warren of tunnels lies the entrance to Iceheart's lair. Summon the others, we're going in. A moment, Alphino. The tunnel in question is barely wide enough for 2 men abreast. We cannot say as certainly where it leads, much less what is waiting for us there. Furthermore, we have no way of knowing how many heretics are still lurking here in the surface. What if we were to converge on this point after we enter the tunnel? For all we know, we could be funneling our forces into a trap. I take your point. If the tunnel is indeed as narrow as you say, greater numbers would be more of a hindrance than a help. Should we encounter difficulty, our own allies would become an obstacle to escape. Ahem. A change of plans. While we rendezvous with Sir Emmerich and keep the heretics at bay here, you will go wherever the tunnel leads. And if you find Iceheart, and at the end of it, do not let her escape. You venture into the unknown, so see that you are prepared for anything. I suggest you call upon your allies, though not too many or more Papalimo will sulk. Throwing him under the bus immediately. Just complete shade. The entrance to the tunnel, sir? It's just over here. Had we not seen the heretics breaking the surface, we would never have noticed it. Per Sir Emmerich's orders, we will stand guard outside. Please be aware that even should you encounter significant resistance, we cannot leave our post. Snowcloak now accessible, that's what I'm talking about. I like how they talk about Emmerich sometimes. They talk about him like he's not standing right here. He's standing right here. But what do I know? Alright, 9 minutes. Better than the half an hour we had on World of Dankness, so I'll take it. But oh, things are going along. I don't forget about Iceheart or whatever. I know she has a name. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But I know like I haven't forgot about her entirely. But like this is almost like a lost to time moment for me. The only thing I remember about her is Shiva and just like wandering around in Heavensward with her and Estinian for a while. And I don't remember what that came of that. So anyway, as you know, we'll see you back here when it pops. Alright, that was only like 6 minutes, I think, if that. So let's get it done. Customary greeting. Snowcloak, the thing about Snowcloak is I'm 90% sure Snowcloak used to be more, if it's the one I'm thinking it is, it's the one that used to be more complex, and then they simplified it. Like, it's got the little Moogle helmet on, wow. Guy's like, I didn't mean to queue for this, and I'm like, I did. But are we gonna wall-to-wall pull? Is that what we're doing? We're gonna pull. Just make the decision, my guy. Come on. Okay. Hit with those now, I guess. I'm just gonna. No stance. You gotta turn it. There's nothing like forgetting your tank stance, dude. I think we've all, anybody who's ever tanked in their life has been guilty of it, you know what I mean? No one likes to admit it, but we've all done it, alright? Unless you're like some sweat that never does anything. I know it, you know it, we all know. But no, so, yeah, this used to be like more complex, I'd swear it was. Like, specifically the boss battles, I guess what I'm saying. It's another one of the dungeons I think that I'd have to go back and look at to be sure. But like, there's the one with the snowballs, I think, if this is the one I'm thinking of. It used to be way more complex. It's just more to it. Because I remember like being like having to dodge a lot more stuff, and like you'd have to like hit the snowball in a way to make it like roll into the enemy boss or whatever. and now I don't think any of that applies. I straight up thought for a second, I saw that guy with his hand. Oh, that was the wrong one. I thought that was a red mage, but that is a viper. But yeah, I could be mistaken. I'm pretty sure that was thing. Again, this is another one of those instances, if I'm right about this, and I'm not like having some sort of onset of dementia or whatever. Because, I mean, like, how long ago did they change that, really? What are we doing? Only a special key? No one picked up the key? Why I gotta do it? Alright. We're all standing there trying to open it. Look at the chat. Only a special key can open this lock. Only a special key can open this lock. No one opens the lock. But no, it's just another instance of, like, well, the AI has to be able to be playable, so... Here's the thing, though. Like, that's cool and all, but, like, how many... There were trials on the way into this that we straight up could not do with people or without people. Because they haven't completely maxed it out, so, like, it's almost like, why? You know what I mean? I don't remember this boss, like, at all. I know I fought him. I know I have, but I couldn't tell you a thing about him. Can't remember what this guy's about, or like what we're supposed to do, or any of that, so we'll hit him with some songs and some cool stuff, make everyone stronger and better by 1%. I really feel like they should make that percentage a little bit better. Give me like 3%. Make it feel like meaningful, at least a little bit, you know? Oh, I got a frozen stack. I don't know what that means. I'm sure it can't be good. Okay. So, we got a little that frosty frost there. Snowdrift. I don't know what that means. Like, should I? You know, I'm gonna get up. Oh, it's coming from that way. I don't know if it really matters, I guess. I was just thinking, like, maybe if I got, like, the other thing that I realized it's just an animation. It's not actually, like, the direction it's coming from. Some dungeons later on, like, it actually matters. We're gonna kill this guy before any of this matters, though. I'm not even gonna reapply my dots, even though I noticed. Alright. I'm not opening the chest. Oh, you demon. Alright. Now here's another thing. I don't know, is it just because it's nighttime or something? But I remember this spot being a lot brighter before. Does this dungeon actually have day and night cycles? Is that a thing? The more you know, I guess. Because I straight up remember this being much brighter before. But maybe I'm dating myself, I don't know. You're not gonna get me. I'm gonna run across when it's clear. Now I'm gonna run across. I'm sure I won't take any damage. Alright. So we'll notice that, like, the tanking is being very conservative. It's totally fine. I'm totally okay with that. Although that tank's about to die if things don't go well. I gotta kill things faster, I guess. Alright. Oh no, I've got frostbite. Get out of there. Start quoting Star Trek 3. Get out of there. Get another song. Dude, man, I've been watching these dudes. They're just like constantly almost dying. Like Meatloaf is always like on a third of his health. This white mage has got to, like, I don't know if the white mage is just not like, I mean, he hasn't died, so I can't really say it. Like, I know there's certain healers that are like, look, if you ain't dead, I'm doing my job. Like, that's the secret, right? This is the guy I was thinking of, though. This fight used to be a lot more complex than it is now. I'd have to look it up, and that thing kills me. It's like, I know that it's not what it was, but I couldn't tell you, like, how it changed exactly. But I'd swear I remember in this fight, it was really interesting. It was hard, kind of, because if you didn't know what you were doing, you could fumble it. But the snowballs would show up, and then you'd have to, like, hit them in a certain way or something like that. And I think eventually you had to hit them so they were, like, you know... Yeah, we have to, like... Oh, no, you have to stay away from the big thing. Okay. Well, that was almost terrible. That could have been worse. Okay, so stay away from the big balls now. That's the other thing. I only remember the other thing, but... Yeah, alright, let's hit him with the dots. But yeah, oh, no. man, I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on, man. Alright. Pay attention talking too much instead of just doing my job. I mean, I am killing him, but, like, I don't know, maybe not that good. Alright, so what are we doing? So I'm assuming he's gonna do that one. Okay. He's gonna freeze another one. What are we doing? Yep, there we go. That's not that bad. Yeah, I mean, the mechanics in this fight are not that bad, but they're not as interesting as they are, or they originally were. Because I think it was like you'd have to charge up a certain ball and then hit it, and I think the ball would like get launched into him, and then he would take damage. I could also be completely wrong about that, but that's what I specifically remember. So call me out for that one, I guess. But man, it's been so long I couldn't even tell you at this point. Alright. You know what I might do? Just because of my own mental acuity and making sure that I'm not losing my mind. I think what I'm going to do is after this dungeon's over, I'm going to cut real quick. I'm going to look up a video. I want to know, because it's going to bother me, like, on a compulsion level. Like, I'm going to be bothered if I don't know for sure one way or the other. Alright. If I don't know for sure, with 100% claim, I don't know what you want to say, confirm it 100%. It's going to bother me that I don't know for sure how that went, but I'm pretty confident. I think the last boss is pretty much the same though. I could be wrong. Or if it is different, I don't think it's different by that much. Would you like to know a factoid about me and playing Bard, and how long I've been playing it? How long do you think this song has been around where it's got the musical notes on it, where they did the rework on it? I still don't know what those musical notes underneath this particular song mean. I mean, I've learned it a few times, but to me it's so inconsequential of information that I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. And that's sad. Sad but true. Oh no, it's a big Cyclops man. Yeah, I love being ranged DPS. I'm not saying the other ones are bad. Just saying it's nice. Oh cool, I did the song that won't matter. My favorite. Oh, there's a guy there. We can do that. I know I've killed these. There's these heretics up here that turn into dragons. I know I have killed them before they turned into dragons before. Like that. Let's go, man. You can do it. You can kill them before they turn into dragons. Triple tap him right now. Yeah. The guys can't even turn into dragons. We don't allow it. This is our house. Alright. Alright, let's make sure we pick up the thing this time. Prefer not to accidentally. I have a whole set of these gauntlet things. I don't know what they're for. I've had them for literally years. They're sitting on I think they're my chocobo saddlebag. I have a whole set of them, and I don't know what they're for or what they do. I'm sure they're for like getting some sort of gear, but I don't know what they are. I've never done it. And yet I've hung on to them for like how many years? Alright. Simple yet effective. Hit him with some sweet tunes. I know he likes the melodies. Okay. So now this one's like about, he's gonna drop icicles and then you gotta hide on the other side of the icicle, if I recall correctly. But you have to hide in a particular one. First, I think you can just hide behind any of them. I don't think it matters. Right? You just get behind one of them. But later, he tries to bamboozle by making them... like, there's one of them that's different. Oh, Tank's over there being bold. As usual. Let's hit with that. Those... oh no. Tank Buster, no. I think this is a mount also in, what you call Heavensward Roar. Foreshadowing, anyone? Got an attack named Heavensward Roar. It's supposed to... it's foreshadowing. Alright. Okay, so if I recall, yeah, I'm gonna drop it. Ah, so those are the bad ones. You gotta hide behind this one. That guy over there, he doesn't know. Yeah, pull him over here, please. Yeah, see, he didn't know. He wasn't paying attention. There was a tell. But he didn't. But the healer's on point. Hit him with rescue. Guy in the chat's yelling, ah. I thought for sure that for a second that was going to hit me. I was like, no, come on, man. Man, if I could stay up on my songs and my dots as well every time I'm in a dungeon, I'd be in perfect shape. Okay, what we got? Alright, doesn't matter because we're LBing him into the floor. Let's go. Man, I always find it satisfying when I get to the end of the dungeon and I'm surrounded by some randos. And apparently, oh, everyone left, so I got the pair of antique breeches. I didn't need the pair of antique breeches. They got me. I did get a player comm though, so I guess it's not all bad.
The tales do not do you justice, warrior of light.
We're going right into some voice cutscenes. Man.
Yes, I know who you are, and you know who I am. I was given the name Izel, but I earned the name Iceheart. This endless cycle of hatred, of bloodshed, of sorrow. You would see it continue, O noble warrior of light. I would not. I will not. I will bring an end to this war between dragon and man, no matter the cost. In time, you will come to understand that what we do for the greater good.
The thing that's funny about this is I don't remember much about this at all. I more recently remember, probably because it's more recent, frankly, is the, what are those called? Is the Alphascape? I can't remember. There's the raids where you're in Shadowbringers and you're trying to bring back, like, the dead part of the land. And while you're doing that, man, I'm so bad with all these names. Fun fact about me, I'm really bad with names. Like, in real life, fiction doesn't matter. The not Minfilia girl, I can't think of her name. Rin? Was it Rin? I think it's Rin. Rin? I don't know. The redheaded girl, right? So she has to go and, like, eventually, she has to embody, I think, Shiva at one point, because they needed, like, summoning for that was different. And then that was how we got the Ice Aether for that area, if I recall correctly. I mean, it's not necessarily part of the MSQ, so I didn't plan on retreading it in the initial playthrough, but on the post, we could probably get there.
For Eorzea, for Heidelin,
Yeah, my brain's like straight up Swiss cheese. I don't remember stuff all the time. Are we really gonna go straight into like the Shiva fate or trial? Fate trial? I don't know. That took longer than I expected. What news, Tiberius? So Iceheart is a pseudonym, not that it matters. That she managed to escape is regrettable, but from your description of that beast, you did well to come as close as you did. In any case, now that you have cleared a path, the Temple Knights can begin to survey the Eternals in earnest. Mayhap they will even find a route past the ice wall. Wouldn't that do wonders for their fight against the heretics? The Crystal Braves would certainly share the credit of it too. 12 be praised, Tiberius. We may yet turn this situation to our advantage. Assuming we stop Iceheart before she summons Shiva, of course. Needless to say, the fellow Scions have not been idle. Minfilia and Eorzea have been busy perusing the archives of the House Fortem, gathering what information they can on Shiva. Which reminds me, if you are intending to trudge back to Camp Dragonhead to report the day's events, don't. The antecedent should be here any minute. I can only assume people enjoy subjecting themselves to this cold. Ugh. Oh, she got her winter drip on, alright. Antecedent. You come to us straight from the archives of House Fortem. I trust your time there proved fruitful. Would that it had. Eorzea and I scoured countless texts, but what we found was questionable veracity. Accounts of Shiva's life and deeds are sparse and contradictory, only agreeing upon one point. She lay down with a dragon, the gravest of all sins, according to Ishgardian faith. Yet in the eyes of Iceheart's followers, this was a holy act, the blessed union between man and dragon. Okay. Sounds like something furries would come up with. How such a thing could even be possible is quite another question. Suffice it to say, I very much doubt that we will find a useful answer in the archives of House Fortem. Much knowledge has been lost over the centuries, though in this case one wonders if it is by circumstance or by design. You say that Iceheart took a moment to plead her case prior to escaping, did you not? Yeah, she definitely threw some words at me. Viewed without prejudice, most would agree that bringing an end to the endless war serves the greater good. I think Sir Emmerich might take issue with her methods. I do not care if a few stragglers manage to escape. Until the sappers confirm the tunnel is safe, the men are not to search it. Yes, Lord Commander. Look at that angle, dude. Look how short he is compared to Emmerich. He'd be looking up. You pursue your foes with less zeal than I had expected, Sir Emmerich. Lest you misunderstand, I do not deny that our enemy has given us good reason to be prudent. I merely meant that you being a man of faith, that I had expected a certain single-mindedness. After all, was it not by the will of Halone that your ancestors came to this land? Why they took up arms against the Dravanians? What they would have done in your position, I wonder. There are those who believe that the faith is a reunification of free will, that unquestioning devotion is required above all who would live a life in service to the Fury. Such righteous fervor may well serve a knight of the front line, less so a leader of men. We are all at liberty to interpret the scriptures as we will. I choose to believe that the Fury would value the lives of her followers over the deaths of her enemies. But I would not presume to speak for the Knights of Eld. 'Twas a different time, nay, a different era, and the scripture tells us only so much. Would that it told us more. That man is awfully pragmatic for a servant of the Holy See. A welcome trait at the negotiating table, to be sure. Less so when one's enemies are making ready to harness the power of a god. Mayhap he does not truly believe in Iceheart's plan can succeed. Truth be told, I too remain somewhat skeptical. Shiva was a real, living, breathing woman. Of that there can be no doubt. In this respect she differs from every other figure that has been summoned, each of whom was worshipped as a god. The sole exception being the good King Mughal XII, the myth made manifest in response to the fervent supplications of the Mughals' guard. Saint Shiva may differ, but what of the heretics? They are a tribe of outcasts at war with the mighty nation who yearns for the resurrection of the one who embodies their beliefs. If that is not placing one's faith in a higher power, then what is? Crystals and conviction, Minfilia. They have both of them in abundance. Can that truly be all that is required? Yeah, it seems like it, really. My survey team has concluded a preliminary analysis of the Aetheryte Iceheart used to escape. They believe that she teleported to another Aetheryte somewhere near, not far to the west. Despite the apparent proximity of this second Aetheryte, however, they have been wholly unable to detect its presence directly. Unless Iceheart has some means to mask the signal, I can only presume that she had it destroyed to prevent us from following her. Without a means to teleport as she did, we have no choice but to search for an alternate route, most likely a tunnel, assuming one exists. Let us not give up on teleportation just yet. One of our colleagues in Charlian may yet be able to assist us. I pray that you are right. I dare not think of how long it will take us to survey the entire tunnel system. While Minfilia looks into the Aetheryte problem, I would like to request your assistance with another matter. The third unit is currently tracking the remnants of the heretic force, which attacked us. However, the search goes poorly despite our numbers. Korthus is vast, and Iceheart's followers know the terrain far better than we. Your knowledge in this region may serve to hasten the process. The sooner we capture Iceheart's followers, the sooner we can press them for the leader's whereabouts. Also, though it is admittedly a selfish request, I feel that my braves would benefit immensely from working alongside you. While we have our share of veterans, we also have more than a few less experienced recruits, many of whom will look up to you in case you are not well aware. Alright. Want to go hang out with the greenies? Alright. Good, I knew you would understand. You, Hase, can apprise you of the details. When the task is complete, please come find me at the observatorium. Captain Ilverd and I are meeting there to discuss the latest development in his investigation. The Temple Knights shall hold Snowcloak in our absence. Let us leave them to their work. Ours is more pressing. She look cute in that jacket. A little purpley, kind of violet, whatever it is. So, it's pretty good. Alright. Well, I'll be back in just 1 minute. Okay, so I went back and like just kind of skimmed through a video of like from like 11 years from like was MTQ capture or whatever, and she was giving a rundown of like Snowcloak and how it went. I was totally right. There were snowballs and that there were Spriggans, and then he would breathe on the Spriggans, and when he breathed on the Spriggans, it would turn him to snowballs, and that was like the whole thing. So I was like, okay. And then there was like another monster thing there, and then it would break the snowballs if you weren't careful. So you have to kite him while also getting him to charge up snowballs and then hit the snowballs into him to break it. Also, all the bosses were just harder in general. Like they had more things that would like go like party wide and freeze you or hurt you or whatever. So definitely simplified. All the other things I saw were talking about Snowcloak, and they called it the 6.2 simplified update, and I was like, oh. So well, let's see what you. Let's move on from that. There you are, Tiberius. Commander Levelure instructed me to wait for you. Your assistance is most welcome, believe me. Most of the third hail from Ul'dah, and the man accustomed to feel the sand beneath his boots, the crunch of snow can be rather disconcerting. But to the matter at hand, nary a moment ago, I received word that the heretics we seek have been spotted making for Danifin Pass. My braves are already in pursuit, and I should be grateful if you would join them. I myself should be taking part in the hunt. Never let it be said that I do not earn my coin. Sorry, I tried to I accidentally put my foot on the pedal mid-yawn. Brilliant. Sorry. I don't know if it went through or not, but, you know, still. When it's 11:24 and you're an old man, that's what happens. But let's go and let's see if we can find our heretics who are causing all manner of trouble around these parts. My wife saw this mount the other day, and she goes, "Why are you a mosquito?" I go, "It's not, it's a robot." She's like, "A robot mosquito?" I said, "No, it's not a mosquito at all." I mean, but I understand, like, it's got a pointy bit, and, like, looks like it's got wings, kind of, right? Mosquito robot. And now it just killed it. I'm like, now all I can see is a mosquito robot. But balls, my ankle's on fire. Caught my boot on a rock or something and twisted it as I fell. The others went up ahead and through Danifin Pass. Hurry and you might catch up. If you aren't sure where to go, look for the tracks. The snow is fresh, so they shouldn't be hard to find. What about you, dude? You ain't got no help? And you're a caster, man. You're a healer. Well, you can heal yourself. I've done it myself. Come on. If you're not sure where to go, look for the footprints. I don't see any footprints. Do you see footprints? I don't. Sounds like fake news around here, man. But I'm pretty sure we're going this way. Oh, Danifin Pass. With Wronger. And there's Shaq Nan, who is also a bard with that level 50 drip. Let's go. I remember how proud I was of myself when I got to level 50 as bard. Because when I first started, I saw someone running around with level 50 gear, and they had the Artemis Bow Atman. It was like the one that folds, which is my favorite one, hands down. I think I've mentioned that though, but beside the point. And I was like, man, that guy looks cool. I think it was a girl actually. I was like, that looks so cool. I want to do that. I want to wear all that. And now having been there so long, it's like crazy. Southeast, so this way? Alright. Well, now that we're in a snowstorm, I'm glad. Okay, now I actually do see snow, like, footprints. Is that a person? It is a person. Okay. Well, I mean, like, you know, person we're supposed to talk to. Scion, what are you doing here? The heretics? I'm not sure. It was a great-scaled beast and... You, Hase? I think he went east on his own. The heretics split up, so we did too. No problem. Ain't no thing. Oh no. It's a purple misty circle. With Yu Yu Hase in the middle of it. This guy thinks he's Yu Yu Hakusho and he ain't it. Alright, one of these. And one of those. Oh, look at you. You know, that was so nice. You kicked like dirt in his face. How embarrassing. I was so intent on following the heretics' tracks that I almost failed to notice they had doubled back. Almost, mind you. Once I tried to sneak up behind me and got a knife in my gut for his troubles. I thought myself alone, so I started searching for the dead man's knapsack for anything of interest. And lo and behold, before his friends found me, I came upon this. Withdraw in groups of 3 or less to the observatorium. Give the signal and wait. The merchant will be waiting. Be late and be left for dead. It speaks for itself, does it not? They can't possibly mean rendezvous inside the place, so we should restrict our search to the surrounding areas. Let me rephrase that. You should restrict your search to the wilderness around the observatorium. I will need more than a moment's rest to recover from these wounds. Isn't there like a cave behind the whole thing? Like, am I crazy? I'm pretty sure that there is a cave behind the observatorium, which would be the perfect staging ground for some sort of ambush, what have you. But what do I know, man? I'm just a simple mosquito-looking sort of robot. Alright, let's see. Oh, there's somebody. Suspicious Coworthan. Looking mighty suspicious. I'm through with listening to your excuses. We leave now. How? The woods are crawling with those bluecoats, and the knights are searching every wagon that passes through the gates. Well, stay with him then if you think you fare any better. Now, there's no need for that. There are places like this in my homeland, sacred snow-capped peaks where blood must not be shed. Yet your lands ever thirst for the blood of the fallen, and by your deeds it has become drunk deep. No, I've done no wrong. None but meat in the secret with heretics. Deny it all you will, we shall have the truth from you yet. Inquisitors are not the only ones skilled in the art of interrogation. Damn it all. Turns into a dragon. Fancying meeting you here, Tiberius. I presume your work with the Third brought you hither? What a tangled web. Lest you wonder, we came not for the heretics, but for the merchant who has been conspiring with them. He came to our attention during the course of our investigation into the Ivy. It beggars belief, I know, but it seemed that our favorite Garlean spy may have been providing assistance to Iceheart. Were it not for the efforts of Lady Ugiri and her shinobi, we might never have discovered this connection. Master Alphino is too kind. I fear my people and I have done little to aid your search for this spy. We long to strike back against the Empire and weaken their influence in this land, to prevent the tragedy which befell Doma from reoccurring. The days ahead and work to promise will require a very particular set of skills. Could it be a kind of particular set of skills we're talking about? Talking about the Liam Neeson kind? I don't know. Skills which I am fortunate enough to possess. If you will allow it, I will accompany you to until the investigation is complete. That is the most generous offer, Lady Ugiri, and one I will gladly accept. Thank you. Though I may disappear for a time, know that I shall never be far, and shall always be watching. A comforting thought. Come, Tiberius, let us wait inside for Captain Ilbert to return and deliver his report. It's very interesting going through this now, knowing that Ilbert is definitely going to betray us, and the whole thing. And, like, the framing. It makes you, like, watch what people do, and you're trying to figure out, like, what they're doing, what it's about. You know what I mean? The other thing I always think about is these two igloos. There's like a snowman with one arm, and then like there's nothing in that one. And then this one has like two benches with a little heat thing. It's orange, and like two oranges on it for some reason. Like, is somebody hanging out in this giant open igloo thing? A couple shovels there. I have questions, okay? That's what I'm getting at. I have questions. So... Captain Ilbert seemed to be confident that the merchant's resolve would swiftly crumble when pressed. If so, we should have new information ere long. As to whether it will bring us any closer to learning the Ivy's identity, I would rather not say. Given our adversary's cunning, I shall consider us fortunate if we are spared another wild dodo chase. The gods know we have more than enough to occupy our time as it is. Captain Ilbert, your report, if you will. Aye, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us naught of what we did not already know of Shiva. We have since handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities. Henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquired their information on the shipment routes. Go on. You require the flame we first identified as being the Ivy's employ. From him we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary step of detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, and the particulars of which he would share with the benefactors, thereby ensuring that the needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of the shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House Fortel. He knew the precise route the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least. But what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit of him forced him to commit a grave error. In desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider that, then our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say the agent is among Raubon's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames' establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act of being laid beforehand. To slip into a position of authority unremarked, and remain above suspicion all these years. Aye, I too was surprised, though I really never should have been. Of the three grand companies, Uldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa and Gridania have long-standing army forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mined under the same leadership, only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Uldaz's military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answered only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Raubon faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained this small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every last sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now, aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught with conflicting interests, public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, it was not our charity that did so, but simple self-preservation. Had Nail Van Darnas's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raubon with an army. 'Tis but a wonder that they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Doman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a great blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second attend to the unrest. The third can join the fourth in inspecting crystal shipments. If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner with the other primals, heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood, Commander. I shall send word of Sir Emmerich, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics' abettors. Abettors? I don't know. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Ishgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I am aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. Though if you would accompany Tiberius as the realm's stoutest champion, 'tis only meet that you present for the discussion. Why would you word it that way? Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember, I think, isn't this part of the whole thing Ilberd is setting up to make it, Bell Rabbit's foot, to frame Raubon? Isn't that, like, how this all works out? I might be misremembering, but... Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path into her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Minfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such a time as they succeed, I suggest that we do the same, or will give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nalfrika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Boy, I've got just the thing. But yeah, I think it is setting up for Raubon. Setting him up for a fall, so to speak. But a lot of intrigue, a lot of political intrigue here. Ilberd is throwing down some sweet misdirects and what have you. Alright. Let's go ahead and use this Aetheryte to figure out what's going on. pretty dead in here right now. There's like nobody here. This place is usually absolutely popping off with people. There's like 3 people here. Oh. My thanks for coming, Tiberius. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the lotus stand. The Alliance leaders await you at the lotus stand. Will you be joining them now? Yes. Speaking.
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
Yes, let us.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
That multi-camera was great. They all like zoom into their face like, oh, so dramatic. Does it matter? I mean, I guess. Isn't it Varys?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I have no idea. So there's a weird thing that happens every now and again where my game just minimizes, but not like completely. It goes to like 85% of the size and goes to the bottom right corner. I have not been able to figure it. It's completely random. There's nothing going on that would cause it to happen, and it just happened. I don't know why. So we'll move on, I guess.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
The casket looks like it's floating. It's spitting out his coffin, dang.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
That armor looks so impractical. I'm not saying it doesn't have presence, it just looks impractical.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
I never took Varys to being a very strong
Indeed.
leader.
Yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varys Galvus is a respected military leader. Not so his uncle.
So young Varys has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and taken his place at the head of the Empire.
Trying to think when this builds relevance, because I don't think the Garleans are even really even come into play hardly at all in Heavensward. Maybe post 3.0, but
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions. But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their Emperor gives the word.
When, not if. They say this Varys was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all. I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
You already got 3 out of 4 of them. I mean, come on. I'm not saying Ishgard is nothing. Ishgard is obviously very powerful, but like, why are we pretending like you're acting like you've only got like half? You know what I mean? It's like as if you just say, oh yeah, Limsel and Minsa just decided not to join. You know what I mean? So it's like it's just Ul'dah and Gridania. It's like, no, you got everybody but Ishgard, and they've been in
Well, I suppose
isolation.
we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it.
But yeah, all I'm saying is, like, Ishgard's been isolationist for a very long time. I don't know why we're acting like, oh, I mean, it'd be good to have them there, but, like, every time we talk to them, they go, we don't have any manpower, like, to deal with anything. So what good are they? You know what I mean? Like, I mean, just saying, in the current state of things are as they are now, right? It's like, are they really that useful? They don't sound like they are.
If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Cheap trick, eh? Alright. We got bands around. I will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite the protestations to the contrary. Plainly the threat of resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust amongst the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to the understandings all they like, but their unity means little if less to the common folk. Take the Liminsons, for instance. Though Admiral Mirrowwib has outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as having for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. And likewise, the Gridanians are marked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Uldans scout as swindlers who worship coin. Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Ul'dan society to Tleji Adeleji, for example. But that is beside the point. The fact is the people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own warmongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them with something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough is idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter, the Ivy. Since we spoke at the Observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects, and by a happy coincidence, the one he deems most likely candidate is lately come to Gridania. The hunt nears its end, Tiberius. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Ilbert near the Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Corythus, you be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Yeah, they kind of set me up, made me think, like, oh yeah, we're definitely going to do, like, we're going to be going to fight, like, Shiva right now. And then it was like, no, I'm just kidding. JK smile, as they say. But that's fine. Everybody just be standing out in the rain all day. My thanks for coming, Scion. Dalos the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Listen well. The spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than Flame Marshal Eileen Royal, Raban's second-in-command. Oh, the pink-haired elf chick? Okay. Prior to joining the Immortal Flames, she was a mercenary to no small renown. They say her skill with a polearm had to be seen to be believed. Of Ishgardian birth, she is the highest-ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raban chose people based on their worth. Whence they hailed was of no interest. The monarchists saw things differently, however. Having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the Alliance. Yet the monarchists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Eorzea Royal was appointed to her post. Passing strange, is it not? Could it be that Ivy has sold some hold over the monarchists? Ninja disappeared. I learned that one from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles the movie. How would you know? But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is Royal's presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the mortal flames in the absence of the Flame General. While Raban attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being Gridania, yet she is here nonetheless. On some pretense. She is up to something, mark my words. Sowing all this distrust, man. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Raoul's guilt. But if we catch her red-handed, we shall have all the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing, the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Cannot rely upon your eyes, sire. Yeah, I'll go along with you for now. You have my thanks. Let us go then, and take care not to alert our quarry. For a second I was like, wait, what? And then he just like walked away and faded away. Alright. Ilbert. Royal is headed to the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, sire. I got like, yeah, you got one right there. That's kind of neat. You got like, they're just kind of hanging out. You got blue peeps hanging out in different places. You know what's another funny thing? You got people up there like watching out for stuff. I don't notice them like 99% of the time. Just hanging out up there. Sorel has entered the Caroline canopy. Meeting someone perchance? Or could it be that she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed there, and she may have seen something. Euphemia is her name. I shall remain here in case Roll reappears. Alright. Well, I don't see her up here with Mother Mayun or any of these other people. Alright, down here. Tiberius Fox, such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant! No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger, and none bore any resemblance. Well, don't let me keep you. Alright, so she's not here. But didn't we just see her go in here? So then truly the question is, where'd she go? Is she out here somewhere? This person's out here. What is it? Murasaki Kacho? Alright, Orient. Nowhere to be seen, you say? And you're sure she did not board an airship? She did not come back out either. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The Roost, how could I have forget? Greetings, good sir. Might I interest you in some Muntoy tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor, if you're take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of West Shore Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes cannot be so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Thank the 12 for the dolmens. Were it not for the unique talents, Royal would have disappeared without a trace. Alright. Well, we're in hot pursuit of pink-haired girl, who is now hiding. I think this is probably a good jumping off point for the time being while we're in hot pursuit. I'll give us something really exciting to jump back into next time. So, with that, as you know, until next time.